Stage 14 of the Vuelta a España was the first of 3 big days of climbing through the Asturian mountains. The destination, La Camperona, a new finish line for the tour. Early in the stage, a breakaway group of 23 riders formed at the front, including 2 from Cajaral, Luis Leon Sanchez and David Arroyo. By the end of the day, Luis Leon Sanchez would move into the lead of the race for the King of the Mountains jersey and take that away from his teammate Luis Mas. Back in the main peloton, Contador was looking comfortable, as none of the riders at the front of the race were a threat to his position overall. And Peter Sagan, amongst the big names in the race, he abandoned midway through the stage. The best placed overall in the leading group was Roman Siccar, the Frenchman from Europcar, but he was sitting some 11 minutes and 39 seconds down. Warren Barguil, another one of the young Frenchmen riding for the Giant Shimano team, he was hoping to be at the front on the final climb. Well, the last 3 kilometres were desperately steep. Tom Bonen, the former world champion, he was originally in the leading group of 23. Once he was dropped over the first Category 1 climb of the stage, he went back to the main peloton and he started to do some chasing, trying to set up the stage for Rigoberto Urán, who started the day in 3rd position. But for Urán, things at the end of the day didn't go according to plan. For the Sky Squad, they made their intentions clear from the beginning. For Chris Froome, it was going to be a question of riding his own individual time trial from the bottom to the top of the last climb. Tinkoff Saxo, they were happy to see the break survive, as they didn't want to give the rivals of Alberto Contador a chance to pick up the time bonuses. The South African national champion, he was also showing himself towards the front, as Louis Mankies was one of 3 riders from MTM Quebecer in the original break, and he was the last one to stay there. Adam Hansen did a lot of work for Lotto Belisol in the hope that Bart de Klerk would be able to finish the job off. And the peloton were really starting to heat up as they approached the right-hander and into the final 3Ks. Onto the climb, Adam Hansen did what he could. It was then over to Bart de Klerk. But it was Tinkoff Saxo's Swiss climber at the front, Olivier Zorg, who was the next to really try his luck. As they got onto the climb, there were some pinches of 20% in gradients, and Ryder Hezerdal was using all of his experience. At the bottom of the climb with the big favourites, it was Alejandro Valverde who was the first to attack, and Contador looked calm as he responded, whilst his teammate Olivier Zorg was challenging for the stage. After the early attack, Alejandro Valverde was losing ground, and Ryder Hezerdal, at 300 metres to go, he was 50 metres behind. At 100 to go, he was on targets. By the finish line, he won by 10 seconds. It took him a while to get there. He soaked up the applause and he collected the win. After the crash on stage 7, it was a deserving result for the Canadian. The former winner of the Giro d'Italia collects his 2nd career stage win at the Vuelta a España. Further back down the road, Chris Froome, who was distanced early, he returned and took some time on Contador. But Contador, he's extended his lead. He's 42 seconds ahead of Valverde, 1 minute and 13 ahead of Froome.